I was going to work this problem here, 1 over 3 roots of x plus 3 roots of y, but I'm going to leave that as an exercise. And instead, I've got a much better one here, 1 over the square root of 4 minus the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3. We want to get rid of these radicals in the denominator, and this is how we're going to do it. I'm going to rewrite this as 1 over. Now the square root of 4 is just 2. Okay, I'm going to factor out this negative here, and that's going to leave me with the square root of 2 plus the square root of 3. If I were to multiply this back inside, we would end up with this here, right? Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the denominator by the square root, or not square root, 2, the plus, and this is going to be the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3. Alright, and then of course we want to write that up here in the numerator also. Square root of 2 minus the square root of 3. So we have 1 times this up here, so I'm just going to rewrite this. This is 2 plus the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3. Now when we look at the denominator here, we multiply this out. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times this stuff here in parentheses, square root of 2 minus 3, and then you would have 2 times this, and of course the inside terms cancel out. Okay, and so we'd be left with minus the square root of 2 plus the square root of 3 times the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3. So as you can see, this was the reason why we started with a plus sign here, and that was the reason I put a minus in right here. Okay. Now of course we multiply this out, we're going to have 2 plus, of course I'm just now rewriting the denominator here, so I mean the numerator, not the denominator. 4 minus, start a big parenthesis, square root of 2 times square root of 2 is 2, square root of 2 times negative square root of 3, and then square root of 3 times square root of 2. Those will cancel out, and so we're left with square root of 3 times square root of 3, but it's going to be a minus 3. Alright, so I'm going to rewrite 2 plus the square root of 2 minus the square root of 3, and 2 minus 3 is going to be negative 1, but then we're going to have 4 minus a negative 1, so that's going to leave us with, right, 4 minus a negative 1 is 5. So it leaves us with a 5 in the denominator. So it all reduced down to, believe it or not, this guy right here. So that was a tricky one there. Tricky, tricky, tricky. And I think that's going to be enough examples on this part 2 part of these operations on radicals with radical expressions. Or I don't know, what did I name this section? Operations, yeah, with radical expressions. So we went through them: addition, multiplication, and then of course in a rational form. All right.